I'm Terry Thrasher.
And we are very excited to be here with you tonight, Friday night, last night before playoffs actually begin. But we got one really exciting game up for us, the women's game for Canada and Australia. Both these teams have one loss under their belt right now. They're both fighting for one of those top seeds going into playoffs. Only the top 4 women's teams will see playoffs. So it's a bit of a scrap right now.
Yeah, for sure. These are two of the teams that have looked excellent in the round robin, perpetual medal favorites. Last year, these teams faced each other in the bronze medal match in Los Angeles, with the Australia side coming out victorious. So I'm sure Canada remembers that. There's a lot of turnover on the Australian squad. I think I counted 5 returning players, but what is that, like 5 or 6 rostered players for Australia who are new. So we will see if this new squad can replicate some of the success of the old squad.
Yeah, Australia is definitely a team that, I remember last year in that bronze medal match, they were down by several games. They came back, they scrapped, and they ended up winning. So this could be a very exciting game all the way through to the very last minute.
For sure. This is going to mean a lot to both teams in the round robin. And so, yeah, let's see how it goes. I believe, standings-wise, right now, Australia has the edge. They are 4-1 with a plus 43 point differential. Canada is 3-1 with a plus 32 differential. But either way, whichever team wins is going to probably be pretty close to that second spot behind the Americans, who are still undefeated after that earlier impressive showing against Team Canada.
Yeah, as Terry mentioned, Canada just took a loss to the United States, and that's their one loss. And then Malaysia just beat out Australia right before this. So they're both coming into this game wanting a win, wanting today on a win. So we'll see which team comes out on top.
Yeah, and right off the beginning, it looks like those balls hitting a little bit. No harm done. Oh no, never mind. I lied, and we do see number 6, Carolyn Lee, returning to the team. She has been on this team since 2015, so all the way back in Las Vegas. Strong performer for Team Australia for several years now.
Looks like Canada with player advantage and ball advantage. Or
I think Canada has one
out.
Looks like Jess O'Quinn is off over there. See some nice flexibility down there from Holcomb hit out. She is also returning to this team.
So right off the bat, it looks like Canada's kind of trying to push the momentum in this game. They want to be the one that's controlling the speed, the momentum. They want to kick this off in their favor, right, to begin with, and kind of put Australia on their heels.
I think that's spot on. I think we saw the American women with the initiative more often than not. And we are wanting to make sure that we see both teams kind of fighting to establish that. So we're going to try and fix the rosters on the screen here. I've been told we have the men's rosters up, and this is not a men's match, obviously.
4 left in for each side. Australia just snatching a catch out of the air, bringing their player advantage up 5-3.
Yeah, Alex Young, a young player on this team, but an experienced presence on Team Australia. See a block from Jess Gray. She herself is new on Team Canada, playing out of Ottawa, Ontario. And that shot just clipping Mackenzie Pinette in the foot. And there we see a return shot. It's hitting out Lee.
4v2 in favor of Australia.
We see an aggressive shot toward Young, missing, and we see Gray on the one side. I believe that is Moore on the other side for Canada. And Gray was hit out.
One player left in for Canada, number 47.
There we see a big shot from Latimer.
Very smart play by Australia. They pushed the line. They wanted to keep her back on her heels, and they took that snipe, and it worked out for them.
And Claire Latimer, very strong returning player from this team. She's got a killer throw and a lot of judgment on how to apply pressure coming out of the corner. We saw her make sure that point went Australia's way, and they're out to an early 1-0 lead.
17 and a half minutes left on the clock in the first half. Still plenty of game left.
Ooh, that shot from Lee going high. Latimer says in her fun facts about herself, she loves Vegemite. I've never actually tried it.
It's pretty good. It's a good spread. It's very Australian,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
I've never heard anyone else speak positively about it. So Canada showing that active defense, and we see a big shot from Latimer, just missing. Holcomb defers that ball over. Canada now with 4, coming up to the line. And we see that shot pop up.
Oh, just missing that.
Yeah, Rowe hit up. Was hoping that her teammate Jack O'Quinn could secure the ricochet, but O'Quinn couldn't see it in time. It's a tough spot. You kind of need to watch in front of you, too. You can't always just look around for a possible catch. Big fakes from Canada, Biron and O'Quinn. Trying to create some pressure.
I do like Canada's play in the beginning in this game. They're trying to set the momentum. They're really trying to push it. They're trying to put Australia back on their heels.
There we see, big exchanges, and Latimer must have been grazed. She puts her hand up.
This type of aggressive play is what I've seen works well for Canada.
I do agree. I think that's when they're at their best, when they're playing aggressively, hitting those shots. Young coming up, big fakes to drive them back. Sorry, just to continue your thought. Yeah, Canada at their aggressive best, hitting their shots, seems to be when they're really piling up the points, but at the moment, big shot on Kirkpatrick and Croft. Australia losing just 1 on the far side. And,
good look on the left corner for Australia. Number 16?
I think number 6 there, Carolyn Lee.
6, you are right.
I know it's hard to see sometimes, but Biron with the catch. And I think O'Quinn was hit out on the other side. Rowe comes back in. She's going to get a ball from her teammate. We got a 3-on-2 situation. Rowe having to throw from kind of far back because the clock winding down. She only has 10 seconds for one of her or her teammate to take the throw, and it was down to 1. Saw the ball handler trying to make it super clear where that clock was. See a shot from number 25, Skellerup. One of the more Australian sounding names to me.
It's Skellerup's first time at the world stage?
I think.
Oh, second
time, yep. 2017 and 2019 here in Cancun. So 2017 would have been back in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And that second shot from Rowe connecting, knocking Young off the court. Canada brings it down to a 2-on-2, although at the moment they only have 1 ball.
That seems to be something that we've seen a lot with Canada. They really like to throw their second to last ball. They feel more confident taking that kind of risky snipe and hoping it pans out. And it looks like this time it has.
And we see a shot just skipping before it hits Biron. Yeah, I think the men even more so, but the women equally confident some of the times taking those shots. We see Rowe going across with the lefty shot. She's tagged out on the return, though. Biron by herself. Karine Biron, her first year on the Canadian squad.
2v1. Skellerup left in for Australia, finishing that shot. Nice work, nice teamwork by Australia on that. They weren't going to take the risk just throwing one, but she was squaring up for that catch, so they did go for that team throw. Sometimes just a good old-fashioned 1-2-3 works.
Yeah, and I think you can see on that replay there that there is good timing to just get those right on Biron at the same time. I mean, that's the way. I think if you really want to make sure against a player who's just looking for the catch, just put as many balls as you can right on them. Australia out to an early 2-0 lead, 14-10 remaining in the first half. We see a shot from Lee, just missing O'Quinn. And now Australia, we see the pressure from Young and Latimer. And 3 balls thrown by Canada. Only 1 now.
I really like the corner pressure from Latimer, number 21 for Australia. She's really pushing back the corner on the opposite side for Canada, not giving her much room at all.
Berkeley there sliding out in front of Moore, which may have made it a little easier for Moore to get hit. And Berkeley taking that shot.
Hands out for her.
Yeah, she does connect with Belinda Law. Canada's turn to throw. Big shot from Gray, connects on Young, and a return volley onto O'Flynn from Latimer. Again, showing that pressure to the corner. Oh, that shot popping way up off the knee as Mora tried to bend back. One thing I really love from Latimer's throw is the way she just kind of like winds her arm back so much, and she just seems to kind of uncoil like a big spring coil or something like that, just launching that ball.
Absolutely. You can tell that it's a well-practiced throw, years of experience.
And now Australia with the 4-on-3 edge. You see them coming to the line. And, yeah, looks like Gray was able to block. It looks like Berkeley back into a pressure situation, and Lee kind of backing her off, and Latimer connects on Gray. So Pinette and Berkeley, 4 balls, 2 in the hands of each Canadian player, and they're going to have to deal with some pressure, I'm sure. And we see one hit made. Latimer. Yep, Latimer did a good thing there. She went to look for that pop-up catch. I don't know if she thought she could get it, but she did draw an extra throw-in for her side.
Yep. Very smart look.
It's a veteran move.
It's very easy to just assume you're out once you've been hit by a shot, but veteran players will know to look up. Hopefully it pops up. You never know. Maybe you can catch your own ball. Maybe your teammate can get it.
Ooh, I like that throw from Pinette, just kind of stepping forward, and before she actually got to the line, just kind of a thrower, she just kind of stepped through it and looked like she didn't actually stop. Pinette with a wicked sidearm too, but Lee absorbs it, takes a shot.
Oh, beautiful play by Australia.
Look how confident Lee is out there too.
I know, wonderful block, got right behind the ball, didn't really give Canada a chance to hit her before taking that snipe and finishing out the game.
Lee mentions as her item to improve, not looking so angry while she plays dodgeball.
We'll call it confident.
Yeah.
I felt like that was just a lot of confidence.
Her favorite spread is also apparently Vegemite, so...
I think you're right. I think it's an Australian thing.
I've never even tried it. I mean, I've also never been to Australia, so I'm sure I can Amazon it to me or something, but that timeout, I believe, was called by Canada, which would make sense. We do tend to see those timeouts spent when the other team has momentum. So Canada down a little bit. Lisa, what do you think? Do they need to change things up? Do they just need to hit their shots? What's your opinion here?
Yeah, I definitely think that maybe this Australians team and energy kind of maybe took Canada off guard a little bit. Their style of play is very quick, very agile, lots of energy, and I think Canada's play is a little bit more... like we said, they play best when they're really aggressive and they're really pushing the line. But in the last couple matches, they've kind of let Australia push the momentum back on them. So I think right now Canada's got to get back to where's their bread and butter, which is playing very confidently, pushing the line, putting Australia back on the line a bit, like they did in that very first match.
Yeah, and we'll see if they're able to do that a little more effectively as we start off. Well, we're going to start off this point soon, but the coaches from both sides currently talking to the referees. We'll see if we can get a little update about what's going on down there. And it looks like Team Canada talking a little bit, whatever the information was from the side.
Update on the other games on the other courts. Team Italy versus Hong Kong. Hong Kong is up 4-0. For the women's game. And Australia and Argentina are playing on the other court 2-0 in favor of Australia.
And word from down at the court level is that refs just issued a reminder to to both teams, not to make comments to the other teams. Did not escalate to an official warning, just a reminder. Probably the refs just wanting to get out ahead of things and manage this game properly. I think we just saw a false start there.
I think we did. And that's probably wise on behalf of the refs. I mean, I'm sure it's super tense on the court right now, lots of emotions flying. It's very easy to maybe point a finger or yell something in the heat of the moment with lots of passion. So it's smart of them just to get ahead of it and make sure that teams know that they've got to be on their best behavior.
That was a tough bounce for Canada. We saw Biron hit out and then Croft hit out on the head, kind of from behind while that ball was still live. So nice attack from Young. And you're 100% right. I think as the emotions start kicking in during the match, it can be tempting to start saying things across the line, but the refs wanting to make sure that things stay cool and easy. And we see a back and forth. I think Australia actually lost two there. Lee walking off. As is Skeller up. Canada losing one as well. So we got a 3-on-3 with big shot from Ladima missing. Ladima looking for a ball. And referee is talking a little bit more.
I think they might be talking about the block by Lynn Kirkpatrick. And everyone's being called safe. All right, 3v3. Even spread on the court right now. Nice night by Australia, right on the toe for number 85 for Canada. It was a good look while there was a little bit of an opening.
And we see a shot toward Kirkpatrick, just kind of missing. Rowe and Kirkpatrick have been on this Canadian national team for quite a few years together.
That's always got to help in these stressful situations,
Rowe
to be playing with somebody.
And Rowe hit as she went low. We see Australia waiting out the move and then connecting on the shot. Good patience.
Lynn Kirkpatrick, last one in for Canada. Looking for that bait and catch potentially.
It's interesting too, Lynn, I've played with and against her for a long time. She's, nice shot. Lynn often not known to take that initial shot. She's good at blocking, good at catching, but she's added in a little bit of offense when she's 1-on-3. But Australia still just executing really, really well, and with just over 10 minutes gone, they've got a 4-0 lead for themselves.
Yeah, Australia's probably feeling really comfortable and confident right now, wanting to keep their momentum flowing. There's still almost 10 minutes left in the first half, so lots of dodgeball left. But right now, there's not a lot of adjustments needed on their behalf.
And, big shot taken. But Canada staying safe. And they are obviously going to want to find themselves a point before too long. And I think we saw Gray hit out there. No casualties yet for Australia. Now they come to the line. We see it is Young who ends up shooting. McLaren currently in the corner opposite her. And Team Canada up to the line. We see some back and forth. Young trying for the catch there.
Beautiful throw.
Just couldn't quite squeeze that one. Still getting some high fives of encouragement from her teammates. Canada looking to pressure that huddle a little bit. And Brogan Moore avoids those shots. Brogan Moore this year the only representative on the national team from Nova Scotia. She's been on this team a few times. You see her holding the attention of the other team and then absorbing a shot from Ladima.
Yeah, majority of the female players come out of Toronto, correct?
Quite a few, yeah. Although on the court right now, actually none of them. We picked the right moment to bring this up. But Mackenzie Pinette from Prince Edward Island. I'm not sure if she lives in the capital, Charlottetown, or not, but Biron from the province of Quebec. Julie McLaren, who just connected on that shot. Ooh, nice job!
Beautiful catch, right between the legs.
Now we get another non-Toronto player back out, Jessica Gray, who's from the relatively nearby city of Ottawa. Ooh, Biron hit out this time. Great shot by Lee. So it's Holcomb and Lee still on the court. Holcomb fakes. She's hit out.
Shift of momentum here. Now Canada with a player advantage, 3-1.
This is a prime time to earn that first point. Holcomb's going to have to try and make it too difficult for them to do it. She goes low. Ooh, evades that shot as well. Canada throws all but one. Holcomb, yep, she does connect on Gray. Jeanette gets over that ball. Elects not to take the shot. And let's see how the Canadians choose to play this. Nice block. Ooh, close call toward McLaren.
Looks like they're trying to maybe wait her out a bit instead of going for that team throw together. Let's see what they do right here.
No, not this time. Holcomb throws. Jeanette jumping up in the air, avoids that ball. Yeah, we have sometimes seen Canada throw one and then the other quickly after, staggering that timing a bit. Yeah, like that.
Just like that.
But Holcomb doing a great job of just folding herself up behind those balls, staying low.
She's definitely getting small.
Jeanette tries for the catch, and now Holcomb's brought it down to a one-on-one. That is a block from McLaren, who shoots, misses, takes that second shot, connects. Nope. Ref stays safe.
It looks like a clean block.
Yeah, just kind of popping that ball over herself was Holcomb. And she fakes. She takes. That one popped way up. That was going to be hard to go for, but McLaren now throwing, missing, fires and connects.
That was the win that Canada needed right now to get some momentum flowing. Score now 4-1 Australia. A little over 6 minutes left in the first half. Looks like Canada's feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously needed that. Team Canada finally drawing blood from the Australian side. And that was dicey, too. Holcomb managing to bring it from a 1-on-3 to a 1-on-1 before missing just a couple of shots and getting tagged out by Julie McLaren in her first year on this national team, playing out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. And once again, they are off. And we see O'Quinn baiting players down to the ground. She misses her shot. I think Lee was tagged. Yep, she's heading off. Just a graze as Lee was low. Not looking too angry out there, I'm assuming. She's working on it. That's what she told us. And that shot connecting. Big connection onto Kenley Croft.
Latimer staying up at that line. Looking for a shot potentially.
Team Australia's turn to throw. And that looked like a good shot coming out of Belinda Law, but missing the mark. Canada now with 4. Probably only going to throw 1. I lied. They threw 3. Kirkpatrick was traded out, but Holcomb will not get a chance to do those one-on-several heroics.
Not yet.
Not yet. Could be a couple of catches to bring her back. Young gets up. Pressure as well from Latimer on the other side.
4v4. Australia with the ball advantage right now.
And Morrow did not quite catch it.
Very close call on that one.
Yeah, she almost trapped it, but as she fell backwards and wasn't quite able to hold on to it. The refs are talking. So I'm going to take a moment to just let you know that on the other courts we have a men's game between Australia and Argentina, currently 3-0 in favor of Austria. Wow, I'm mixing up my abbreviations here. And on the women's side, Hong Kong 7-0 over Italy right now. Good. Oh, 8-1 actually it looks like. We have a couple of quick points by Hong Kong, I guess. So I believe Team Italy's women still in search of their first win of this year's tournament.
Both the men's and women's Australian team are looking mighty strong today, I have to say. I've seen a couple of the games for both of them, and they're looking very strong. Lots of new players on both teams, lots of young blood, you could say, mixing things up, and it's showing in this tournament.
And I thought on the first full day, when I got a chance to see the Australian men's team play, that they seemed a little shaky compared to their performance last year, but honestly, they've really they've really been strong. I think they've improved a bit or figured out how to
Yeah.
play together a little more. I'm not sure what adjustments they may have made, but they look solid today.
Yeah, well, 10 out of 12 of their players are new to the Worlds team.
Yeah.
So this was their first time playing kind of at this national, international level. So it may have taken them a little bit just to warm up and find their footing. But they've definitely taken strides over the last couple days. And as we mentioned earlier, the women's team has only had one loss just earlier today by just a couple points to Malaysia. So both men and women from Australia looking mighty strong here in Cancun.
And now we're down to a 3-on-3 after Alex Young was hit out. Australia coming up and connecting on row. The return shot missing. Latimer hits. O'Quinn is back off the court, and her twin sister Jack O'Quinn, the last Canadian remaining. Australia trying to get momentum back for themselves in this match. And that is a catch. And O'Quinn on the hit as well. So it's just Latimer remaining for Australia. Croft back on. Both of these players can throw overhand, underhand, whatever you want to see. Just a single overhand coming this time. Kenley Croft. It is her birthday today. I'm sure one of the things she would like as a gift is this point. And I think that fourth ball finally connecting on Latimer.
Good play by Team Canada. Both teams on that one closing the score a little bit, 2-4. Still lots of time left on the clock for this game. 3.5 minutes in this half, but still a whole another 20 minutes after that. So really, it's anyone's prospect right now.
Yeah, still really close. We see Coach Watson talking things over with the referees at center court. Referees now still talking amongst themselves. Yeah, that catch from O'Quinn probably necessary in order to give Canada a shot at that point. And they've got 2 in a row to give themselves just a 4-2 deficit. 3:40 remaining in this first half.
So who are the captains for Team Australia, Terry?
I don't know because this fact sheet doesn't tell me. I know Latimer was, I believe, was the captain last year, and possibly co-captain with Alex Young, so they may be reprising those roles. I think they have little C's on their jersey.
I think so too. Both those players coming in with a lot of experience on the court, helping lead their team to some of these pressure cooker situations.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things about having veterans on your team. They can help settle things down when they're rough. And off the rush, we see this time it's a throw from Lee. She misses. And so Canada's going to have that fourth ball. They're going to take their shot, or their shots. That one pops up. And I think we see a 1-for-1 afterward on the side. Latimer and O'Quinn. So still, and Berkeley lost as well.
4v4.
And just a graze onto Alex Young. See a lot of that honesty out of these players. Those little grazes that would be hard to see or hear as a referee. The players still want to earn their wins. Ooh, nice flexibility again being shown by Béran.
Canada pushing the line.
Ooh, nice throw from Holcomb there, forcing the sidestep out of Béran. And let's see what Canada can do as they come up. Now they find a shot.
Double throw, I think, was the smart move there.
Yeah, they've obviously shown that they are willing to be a little bit aggressive with those throws. Putting 2 on a target, in this case confirming the out. And Moore grazed as well. Tried a little sit-down block there, but Lee was able to find her.
Yeah. Especially with this Australian team proving to be so difficult to hit out with their amazing blocks, hiding behind the ball. Sometimes
In the danger zone near the line. Takes a second shot, and now she may be in trouble. No, Belinda Law chooses not to let that one go. 1.5 minutes remaining in this half. And some shots exchanged, but nobody knocked out yet. And
Just nearly avoiding that one, doing a good job getting over it.
Lee with the block.
Beautiful block by Lee. She's really doing a great job of getting behind those balls.
Yep. Both of these Australian corners proving very hard to hit. McLaren still trying, of course. She's got a good throw. And now it is on Team Canada to throw. McLaren winding up, goes across the court. Oh, nice shot. Belinda Law connecting through the blocker, and just a little up high on McLaren. It's being congratulated by her teammates for a solid showing, but Australia a more solid showing on that particular set.
Taking that point, making the score 5-2 with 42 seconds left in the first half. So if you're Team Canada, what are you going to try different right now, Terry?
Boy, it's a good thing I'm not their coach, right? Yeah, I'm honestly not sure what I'd say at the moment. They're having a hard time hitting some of the Australian players through the blockers, so it's always hard to say, like, just hit your shots. Yeah. They may be able to mix up the timing a little bit or the angles and maybe make those blocks harder to execute on, but I mean, Australia not going to make it easy. We see them just... Ooh, and we see a nice counter. Like, right as Jack O'Quinn drew back to throw, there was a ball coming right at her. Good rush play. 30 seconds left in this half. Young does get hit by that second ball. So Canada able to even up that player count a little bit. Croft up at the line. We see Australia avoids that shot. Mora does get tagged.
4 players left in for Canada. 8 seconds on the clock before we go into no blocking.
Lee with the throw. That one goes off. Ladama returned onto Rowe.
Kirkpatrick stepping off the court just before no blocking. 2 players left on the court for Canada. 4 for Australia.
Yeah, so Australia with the edge heading into no blocking. And referees are talking again. I'm not sure if I saw a timeout call there from Australia. But everybody's going to huddle up. Team Canada, Team Australia, Team referee. 5-2 in favor of Australia. If we look at the far courts, I think we can also see the men's Team Australia is 5-0, I believe, on Argentina. And the women's match, I can't quite see the scores, but I think I did get a message that Hong Kong is up 11-1 over Italy. So another strong performance, it sounds like, from Team Hong Kong.
Yeah, I think Hong Kong's one of those teams that's really scrapping to get into those top 4 spots. It's really tight here as far as point differential, win-loss record. It goes, so the way it's going is only the top 4 women's teams will go into playoffs. It'll be a win-loss record, and then if that's a tie or in some capacity, then it's a point differential. So some of these teams are trying to rack up some points where they can in order to ensure a spot.
Yeah, exactly. Hong Kong currently 2-3, but with a plus 10 point differential. And if they win big against their current opponents, that'll be an even bigger point differential as Hong Kong pulls themselves up to 500. Now we see Croft. Wow, what a powerful throw. Croft again firing and connecting. Oh, and again on the lead. Kenley Croft is connecting.
The Canadian fans loving this one as Canada takes that point in no blocking, making the score 5-3 going into the second half. Still 20 minutes on the clock. There's still lots of dodgeball left. If Canada can keep up that momentum that we just saw in those last 10 seconds, I think this could be a very exciting last 20 minutes here.
Croft, I think one of her strongest attributes on this national team is her throw. She showed it off there. We said just hit your shots. It's sometimes in some ways a little easier when no blocking is allowed, but you still have to connect, and Croft, good hard shots. We could hear those landing.
Yeah. That distinct ball on skin sound that we hear all the way up here in the bleachers. So beautiful throws by Canada.
Yeah, so Canada only down by 2. If they can continue to play with that tempo and that initiative, they are certainly not out of it. But I mean, Australia, that defensive skill they've shown so far is proving a little resilient. to those Canadian throws.
Yeah, so as Terry mentioned, Hong Kong has 2 losses on the record right now, and one of these teams after this game will also have 2 losses on the record. So it's a little bit of a fight out right now.
Yeah, I think Hong Kong actually with 3 losses.
Oh, excuse me.
If they if they do win this match, which seems pretty likely, they will go to 3-3. But if Canada is unable to clinch this one out, they will fall to 3-2, and that makes the standings that much tighter. So currently, United States undefeated in first place at 6-0. Australia second place at 4-1. Team Malaysia is 4-2 in third place, and Canada in fourth. So Hong Kong kind of knocking at the door right now, with Mexico, then Italy, and finally Argentina not too far behind.
Yeah, and there's still a couple big matches left for the ladies. I know that the U.S. women still have to face Australia. I believe Malaysia still has to play one more time.
Yeah, we're going to, tomorrow at 10:30 Eastern, we will see the American women against Australia. So we do have a few round-robin matches to go tomorrow before their playoffs start. One of them will be a very important, I'm sure, Australia versus USA match.
And as well, Hong Kong versus Canada. If Hong Kong could clinch that game, then that would actually bring up their record to being tied with Canada.
Yes, that is probably going to be huge as well. Maybe a match that determines the 4th seed. Could be one of those win-or-go-home kind of matches before playoffs even start.
But it looks like Canada's trying to pump themselves up right now going into the second half. They want to close this gap between them and Australia. It's only 2 points, completely possible. They come out swinging like they just ended that last game.
Yeah, we got the energizing efforts from them, and we've got some fans of theirs over on the sideline as well. Australia looking loose out there. Oh, there are also some Canadian fans up there in the stands. We can hear them starting their chant.
Sounds like it's the men's national team cheering on their women.
I do like these white and purple jerseys from the Canadian women's team. I had no idea what to expect from the Team Canada jerseys this year, and this is obviously not the color scheme you would tend to think of when you think, oh yeah, Canadian national team. But
absolutely. Very unique jerseys to see here at the world stage, but I mean it's memorable. I'm sure we'll be talking about it for some time.
Yeah, different teams playing it safer or less safe. Lots of options out there jersey-wise. Ooh, I don't think anyone except Lee was hit on that, so she is heading off.
Canada with the ball and player advantage right off the bat, taking out number 42 for Australia, Young.
Yeah, Young has been a target for them. I think they know that she is a very strong team member. And I think they found at least one hit onto Jess O'Quinn and Mora.
Evening the player count 4v4. Canada with the ball advantage.
Coming to the line. See 2 shots, they find Latimer.
Very smart, doing a team throw on that one. As we've seen, Australia's been hard to hit when they've just done single throws, so doing those double throws have been proving positive for them.
Yeah, Croft letting go of one that went a little high. Rowe moves up to retrieve that ball. And we see the Canadians coming up, 2 balls shot. Croft protecting her team on the retreat, but Australia now has 5. I mean, they only have 3 players, so at least they can't throw all 5. Not yet. And we saw that aggressive play out of Canada. Biron that time was the charge.
Good timing by Team Canada taking that snipe.
Yeah, connecting with Skeller up. And I think, yeah, they got through the block on Holcomb. Rowe driving Lau back. That is Belinda Law, who has been surviving on the court extremely well. And I think, yeah, a disarm there. Ball in her left hand looked like it popped out.
It did, so here's Canada coming back, racing back to close that gap, making it only a 1-point differential, 4-5. I believe is that 2 or 3 games in a row for them?
It's a couple at least. I mean, we said they would want to come out strong in this second half. So far, so good. They're only down by 1.
left on the clock.
I think sometimes what I need is some kind of app that gives me a timeline of what's happened in the match. I can't even remember things that happened 4 minutes ago sometimes.
Absolutely.
Too much action to keep it all in your head.
Lots of exciting dodgeball.
And both teams quick off the rush. And Bigon blocked that one down into her foot. Latimer had been hit out earlier.
Oh.
Team Canada, it's on them to throw. Croft lets it go, and she tags Lee. Croft really hitting on those shots right now.
Beautiful cross court. Not an easy shot, and that worked out.
And we see both O'Quinn side by side, drawing attention away as Mora takes a shot, and Jess O'Quinn is hit on the retreat. We see the ref's not really... Okay, they're signaling that it is Canada's throw. Makes sense. Holcomb skimmed that one a little short. I'm sure she'd like to have that one back.
4v4. Ball on Canada's side.
Look at Coach Gravilli there, leaning in and talking behind the screen, directing traffic out there. Did he call for the shot onto Law? I have no idea, but she is walking off. Canada, not a lot of balls in hand right now, so let's see if Australia can capitalize. Ooh, wow.
Woo! Beautiful work by Canada, avoiding all of those balls.
Yeah, a lot of them going toward Croft, who's been hitting hard lately, so good work on her part to evade those shots. Young is back in this match. Young broke her finger training for Team Australia this year. It's good to see she's back and healthy right now. Holcomb threatening, and Young saying that those balls hit in the air. Everybody agrees. And Canada, it's Rowe this time taking the shot. Young hit out this time. Holcomb though with the block.
Only 2 players left on the court for Team Australia. 4 for Canada. See if they can make a team throw happen. Nice throw by Australia. Oh.
Yeah, you see, I think Croft's shoes coming off accidentally got in the way. We saw Skeller kind of saying sorry as that ball whizzed by Croft. Nice shot.
And hitting the Canadian coach.
You gotta show him you mean business sometimes.
She wants to hit every player and coach on the court.
Skeller up, playing it a little bit safe right now. Oh, looking for the catch. That's less safe, but she survives. Takes a shot toward Mora, and Rowe finishes it off.
And Team Canada closing the gap. They've done a very impressive job coming back from that deficit early on, right off the bat. I remember it being 0-3. So here we are, 5-5, 15.5 minutes left in the second half. Canada has made some adjustments, made some tweaks, maybe adjusted their play a little bit, and it's working for them.
Yeah, I mean, now that it's actually tied up, I think it might have been 4-0 at the very beginning. So Canada working hard.
I think you're right.
I think I heard the whistle saying false start. It looks like a point toward Canada from back referee. I think that's Devon Van Dyke from Australia.
It is. There's some amazing refs that have flown all the way to Cancun to be a part of this event, volunteering their time. Thank you so much to all the refs from all over the world.
Yeah, they've got a tough job, but so far they've been doing a great one. And off the rush, both teams quick to that ball, and I think we see Young out. Oh, an attempt at the team catch, can't find it. Rowe extending for that ball. She ends up out of bounds.
5v5.
Canada with some big shots. That sort of delayed one, finding Latimer on the far side.
Canada had all the balls there, so it worked out for them, taking 2 of the Australian players out.
And we see O'Quinn reaching over the line for that ball. Oh, that's a big windmill. I think it got through Lee's block. Those shots are so hard to read sometimes. We've seen the Canadian women throwing them well. We've seen some players like Paige Peterson throwing them so well. Tough to read. We see a cross-court attempt there, defended adequately, and O'Quinn hit out on the return shot from Holcomb. Belinda Law saw it coming in time to block. And, whoa, nice grab!
Beautiful catch. That was up it by her upper chest, in her throat practically. That's a very difficult catch to make, but she made it look graceful.
Yeah, it sounded solid when it hit her, but great grab by Biron. Showing why she is a first-time national team member. Croft is the one to unload there. Seen that big throw come out a few times. And now it's on Australia, as Holcomb is going to need to take her shot carefully.
Oh!
Nice catch!
Catch in that side pocket, just under her elbow. Bringing in Young for Team Australia.
And that shot coming close. Alex Young returning, wanting to make her impact. Canada coming up. And we see a nice shot out of Shauna Rowe. So Team Canada back to just one. They're going to want to make sure they don't get caught this time.
Let's see if she can make another catch happen.
It's the other way. They're all showing confidence with those grabs.
Definitely. Canada is transformed here, taking the lead 5-6. Big adjustments and changes. You can see the confidence on the court on the Canadian side. They are taking some, big risks sometimes. Some of their throws. They're getting some massive catches.
Yeah, Biron coming in clutch. Some two very solid sounding catches on that point. And we do see Australia calling a timeout. In the meantime, let us let you know about what's happening on the other courts. We do have Australia over Argentina in the men's division, 6-0 right now. And the other women's match happening, Hong Kong over Italy, I think it's still 13-2. Is the last update I've received. And it's pretty far away, so I'm going to trust that message.
So if you're Australia, what are you thinking right now?
Well, I mean, they do get frustrated, I'm sure, with those shots connecting. I mean, they were blocking so well before. They were absorbing that Canadian pressure so well before. I think we saw especially Lee and Law doing an amazing job in the corners countering. They may just need to readjust their timing. If they found that Canada's mixed things up, then they just may need to mix things up a little bit themselves to adapt. They've shown themselves capable of reeling off several points in a row, so... Just staying positive, and that positivity will often help with your execution.
Yeah, it's almost felt a little bit like a tug of war in this game of who's been pushing the momentum or kind of controlling the pace of the game. It was Australia, now it feels like Canada pulling in that catch out of nowhere.
I mean, if Canada wins this match, Biron has to be seen as the MVP of it, I think. Big toss, missing a little bit high. Good block out of Jack O'Quinn on the left side. Canada settling a little bit low. When they crouch like that, they often run. Not always, often. And we see Jess O'Quinn hit out.
You see Canada squaring up for those catches. They're feeling pretty good about them right now. I can see why.
Absolutely. We've seen some good shots, too, as that windmill connects. Good impact onto Tran. And there we see a shot onto Skellerup. Latimer making the call on the left side. It's relayed over by Holcomb. Australia playing it a little bit safe right now. We'll see if they choose to stay a little bit more conservative or go aggressive. They're only down by one. They don't want to get into forcing things. And that ball trapped against the ground by the blocking ball of Lisa Mora. Biron, one of the throwers, as is O'Quinn. Canada down to one. And of course it is Croft up front, who has also done a ton of damage with those throws. Good jump. Australia missing. Latimer connecting. Big shot, taking out Croft in that big throw of hers. 3-on-3 now. Biron still in there. She's feeling good. All three balls thrown. And Holcomb eliminated.
3-on-2 in favor of Canada. They also have ball possession.
Latimer, I think, is safe. Yep, referee confirming. I think we saw one cheer from the Canadian sideline, but the ref confirming that she was just fine on that shot.
Ooh, nice hit by Team Australia on that right corner, just nicked her.
Might have jammed the finger a bit. It looks like she's kind of massaging it as she walks to the sideline. Latimer ready, and the return shot grabbed again. They're all now looking to finish it off. Her teammate Lisa Mora does so instead.
These catches have just been incredible. These catches by Team Canada are what's saving and turning the tide in this game, really.
I think like 80% of those catches have been number 3 as well. She is feeling it, seeing those shots so clearly.
She's gotten at least the last 4.
Yeah, and I mean, those are such huge swings. Each catch is like a 2-player advantage for your team as you bring someone back and take someone out on the other side. The referee is attending a little bit to the tape on the court. That is the clear line on the Canadian side. Getting a bit of attention. Or just in front of the clear line, I should say. Here the men's team for Canada cheering on their team, and the Australian men's team responds in kind. And we see close calls off the rush.
And here are the Australian fans trying to pump up their team.
Latimer ready. Does not charge this time. See Carolyn Lee on the other side. Carolyn Lee, we see a couple of shots there. The one that connects is on Croft, and O'Quinn hit out as well. Jack O'Quinn walking off on the side.
4v4.
And nice block from Holcomb.
She's done a beautiful job of getting behind that ball today.
Yeah, that is some World Championship level blocking from her. Oh, Mora. Nice control to stay in bounds. Lisa Mora spends a lot of her time in the gym, has a wonderful fitness channel, Mora Fit. And a nice block from Durand. We saw Canada hitting out. I think that was Keller up on the far side.
4v3 balls on Australian side.
And they connect on Mora this time, bringing it back to a 3-on-3. It's so even. 7-5 in favor of Canada on the scoreboard, but 3-3 on the court right now.
Big advantage for Canada now. 3v1.
Holcomb again. Tough break for Australia, though. Their players were both just grazed. Durand, the sentinel for her team. I think that might have hit her blocking ball. It looked like she was looking for that catch, so lucky for her it didn't find her skin. Holcomb sizing up her opportunities. Elects to go, and Canada not taking that rush counter this time. And this time we find those shots onto Holcomb. They connect, and Canada now, they have reeled off, 5 or 6 straight points.
They are definitely feeling their game now. They are on a roll. They've kind of found their momentum and their mojo to kind of get these runs going. It's really up to Australia now to kind of put their foot down and say, no, this is our game.
Yeah, exactly. They've had momentum in this match. They've established that early lead. They're obviously capable of it. They just need to find that confidence again. They are not out of it yet with a little over 8 minutes remaining and 3 points to make up. Entirely doable. And they are off. And that shot, that was a triple.
3 players. It was.
That is a bad break for the Australian side. It's going to make that momentum a lot harder to earn on this particular set. Big shot on the lead. Canada firing on all cylinders right now. They did lose Jess O'Quinn, but I'm sure they are okay with the situation. Mora sees that ball bounce just before it finds her. Nice shot from Latimer.
Now this is the ladies Canadian team playing at their best. They're playing confidently, they're playing strong, they're pushing the line, they're communicating.
Yeah, we see a lot of that good teamwork combined with those good throws and execution. Ooh, nice shot out of Latimer, but Croft does see it and avoid it. Latimer confidently, oh, that's a double. They needed a bounce like that. Rowe with a big jump. This time goes low, it hit the ground before it hit. She's checking with the referee. I think the initial signal from one referee is that it might be an out, but I thought it sounded like it may have skimmed the ground first, but we'll wait and see what the official word is. Safe.
1v3. Latimer left in for Australia.
Yep, those players need to start on the back line. You see the refs reminding them. Ball tossed back in for Canada, and good block. And Latimer just missing on Croft, evading the return shot. Ooh, great defensive work.
Ooh.
Oh, nice shot again.
By Latimer. Latimer, no stranger to the pressure of the world stage, and it's showing right now as she just brought that 3v1 to a 1v1.
She is a big leader for this team. And she is tagged by a leader herself.
Very exciting plays right there by both teams.
And these are the kinds of points that they will swing a match. Australia, had they won that, would have closed the gap to 2, and now instead down by 4. The task is getting more difficult with each passing minute. Still doable. They've still got the arm strength and the coordination to make this up, but Canada really rolling right now.
What a fun game from one first half to the second half.
Gannett hit out on the rush. Looks like Lee was hit out as well. Team Canada's throw. Berkeley making the call from the middle. Elects to take the shot. And on the Australian side, we are seeing Hannah Jackson in for the first time, number 5. Moore hit out. I know from watching some matches earlier that Jackson also has a total cannon of an arm. We'll see if she gets to use it on this set. And a close call, but Canada evading that.
Sade Berkeley back in for Team Canada as well.
Jackson apparently a psychiatric nurse in a prison. That sounds like a job straight out of a comic book that, man, I don't even know what that would be like.
So she's used to stressful situations, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's got to be good for your fortitude in a match like this. Keeping your cool. Canada on the offensive now. They find Young. Like we were saying before, Canada now kind of working those angles and making it harder to block with the ball held out right in front of you. It's a lot more difficult to take those shots coming in from difficult angles. And we see a hit up high on McLaren. Skeller up looking for Berkeley. Berkeley called out by the referee. I don't think she knew she was hit, but very decisive call from the ref.
Australia closing that gap 3v2.
Oh, nice shot. Skeller up again. Kirkpatrick out, and Brogan Moore, the only one left, takes a shot. And she connects, taking out Skeller up, who had the hot hand. But there are still 2. Holcomb, of course, and newcomer to this match, Jackson. That throw going a little bit high. Wow. Brogan Moore. Now there's a practice ball on the court. Timeout called by Canada.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little under 4.5 minutes left on the clock. If you're Canada right now, you're wanting to run the clock. You're wanting to drain as much time as you can because they're up 4 points at this moment.
We see the sideline trying to spell out a chant. It fell off a little bit at the end there on the Canadian side. Both teams using this time constructively, I hope. I know Coach Victor Gravilli likes to just ask players in these situations what they see as their path to victory. I think he usually leaves it up to the player to say how to play it, which makes sense. In a one-on-one, you want to rely on your instincts. Holcomb on the other side. Going to try and make this quick. And that shot does find the mark. Nice throw. Great work by Brogan Moore. Team Canada keeps it going.
Very impressive games by Team Canada. Being down from 4-0, now turning the tide up 10-5 here with still 4.5 minutes almost left on the clock.
Well, that's kind of
Huge
crazy.
shift.
From 4-0 to a 9-1 run since. It's like a basketball score. And now Australia huddling up. They need to keep those spirits high. This is now getting into the territory where a point a minute is a really tall order from a team. You got to get some lucky bounces, like one of those triple hits. You got to connect on as many throws as you can. Canada goes offensive, hits out Holcomb early on, and Jess O'Quinn hit out as well. She's been a target for the Australian team. O'Quinn, an emotional leader and a phenomenal athlete, so makes a lot of sense. And that shot from Jackson coming in, and the other O'Quinn twin hit out as well. Canada down to 4. And those shots all missing. I really like how we see the Canadian team still playing a little bit aggressive. I think that's fine in a case like this. Whoa, that shot toward Mora connecting. She kind of ended up turned around a bit. Canada with 4 balls now. We see those corners still applying pressure from Australia. 2 shots toward Alex Young.
Canada's still playing very aggressively, even though they have less players than Australia on the court right now. You can feel the confidence.
We see Carolyn Lee back on. She hasn't always been able to survive the rush, so she's been a leader for this team. She's got a great throw, too. That one going toward Biron. She stays alive and pops back up to her feet. Looks like Croft is making the call. Coach Vic just squatting down on the sideline, watching as the team hits out Alex Young. Oh, and we see a return shot onto Latimer as well. Canada still just really connecting on these throws.
3v3, Canada kind of closing that player differential. Oh!
Yeah, but that exchange working out just fine for Australia. We see just Shauna Rowe out there for Canada. We see Tara Skeller up and Carolyn Lee for Australia. Nice shot under the blocker from Skeller up. Sometimes you can only block one of those balls, and Shauna Rowe did, but the other one came in at the right spot.
Absolutely, and that could still be a crucial point for Australia if it does come down to a point differential and who gets into those top 4 seeds. Because if it comes down to it, it could be between them and maybe Hong Kong fighting for that 4th seed. Hard to say. Still lots of dodgeball left.
I do think it's going to be really hard for the Australian side to make up this 4-point gap in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but you never know.
Oh, I mean the overall point differential when it comes down to deciding who are the top 4 teams that will make it to playoffs.
For sure. I think the records are looking like they're going to be pretty close in that area, and I think we saw, a double elimination on the side of Australia. Skeller up and Holcomb heading out. Biron lost for the Canadians. And Team Canada now having to back off as Australia has the initiative. We see a couple of balls coming in. It looks like, Jack O'Quinn hit out with a little graze on the sideline. We've got about 90 seconds remaining in the match before sudden death. Nice block again by Latimer. Ready for that windmill shot. And now Jackson will take the second ball. Let's fly, but skips it a little bit short.
4 players left on the court for Canada, 3 for Australia. Looks like they're trying to run the clock a bit.
Blocked by Mora. Lee's shot coming up, and O'Quinn going a little bit aggressive. A little Little dancing action to burn off some extra energy, perhaps. Croft takes this ball on the left side and blocks and evades and shoots and hits and also hit out onto Shauna Rowe. 3-2 player edge for Canada.
35 seconds left on the clock.
Wow,
Canada makes that hit.
Yeah, that second throw coming in after Jackson had moved to avoid the first shot. And once again, Latimer in there for her team. Mora with the block. Nice shot again toward Mora, who charges, fires. I think Latimer's fine. And she shoots, she connects, yeah. Nice reach by O'Quinn. Croft bumping into her a bit. Mora with the shot. Latimer staying inbounds as she falls.
And I think they're talking about if that last hit by Latimer did count, if it was before the clock or after the clock hit 0.
Yeah, she released that ball. I think she may have released that ball before the whistle went, and yeah, it looks like the call is an out. So it's going to be a one-on-one at the end here. Won't change the match result, but it will be important for the morale of both sides. That point differential can matter a lot. All 3 balls have to start inbounds for the teams. I think you're going to see the referees indicating as much. Players will often hold 2 balls and kick the other one out of bounds, or sometimes just leave them where they want them on the court. We see Watson talking as well with the referees. I'm tempted to play charades with the gestures, but
I'm guessing it has something to do with the ball can be at her back or if it has to be on the court. Just finalizing kind of these final rules. It is a little bit of a unique situation going into the no blocking with just 1v1 left on the court.
And the last update we got from the other courts, we have Australia over Argentina. I think it looks like 8-1 in the men's division, and the women's match between Hong Kong and Italy 17-3. And I believe that one is done, so that is final. So that does mean Hong Kong moving up to 3-3 in the women's division, adding another plus 14 to their point differential. I think that brings them to plus 24. So doing what they can to really contest for a good seed. And even the playoff spot, not guaranteed. I think Mexico with 2 wins is not too far behind.
Yeah, it'll be a nail biter to see who are the top 4 teams for the women's division. There's a total of 8 women's teams here at this tournament, and yeah, only the top 4 seeds will get to see a medal match.
Now, we did see play stop there because that one ball was not in play. The Australian side had it in the hands of a ball retriever. The referees confirming that those do have to start in play, telling everyone to get back. And the shot toward Latimer, and she is connected upon, and Croft finishes it off.
What an incredible game by Team Canada, coming back from behind and winning it 11-6.
Yeah, that was an incredible run of a 9-1 before Australia finally got another point after jumping out to a 4-0 lead, as Team Australia did. Man, that just showed how much the momentum can matter in these matches.
Absolutely. Canada kind of found their groove. They figured out what worked for them, and they kept at it.
Yeah.
Some incredible catches on their team. Number 3 for Team Canada just carrying it, bringing in several of her own players to swing some of those matches there that were very crucial to the points.
Yeah, if you were going to pick an MVP for that match, personally, that would be my vote. She had a couple of just huge catches at important times. Another MVP candidate, number 77, Kenley Croft, just mowing people down at times with that throw. 2 just clutch performers for the team, and they really helped enable Canada to roll.
Absolutely. Great play by both teams. Very exciting match. Excited to see what tomorrow brings for both of them. Next up on the main court, it is the U.S. men versus Mexico men's game. I expect that to be a pretty exciting game as well. A lot of these guys know each other very well, play against each other often, so expect some excitement.
I know I'll be excited to see it, so we hope to see you back here at about 7:30 Eastern Time. That's in 22 minutes for another exciting match to wrap up the day. In the meantime, though, my name is Terry Thrasher.
I'm Elisa Westman.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.